Hello, Covington County. Welcome to a Monday, April the 30th edition, 2018 of Good News Covington County. Up here with Cousin Tom and Cousin Jared, and of course myself. It's Monday morning. Obviously, I'm not 100% here. There's some people that would declare that I was never 100% here or anywhere else. But I'm glad to be here right now with you, the folks out there in Covington County, in Andalusia, Knox, Strawn, Pleasant Home, Florella, Gannett, the whole shooting match. We're just glad to have you on board here with us and hope you'll enjoy today's show. It was kind of an interesting weekend in Covington County. Had a lot going on. According to the Andalusia Star-News, again, we want to give most of our attribution for a lot of the news to the Star-News. They do a great job for us. Ms. Cheryl Gerlach and her staff provide us with great news, and we're very appreciative of that. And there's a lot of stuff that comes through Covington County that we don't see. I can tell you this, traffic-wise, Covington County was very, very busy this weekend. We had tons and tons of people coming through here on the way to the beach, or I guess the beach, or other places south here. And then Sunday afternoon, we had tons and tons of people headed north, I guess away from the beach or wherever they were south of here. We've got a lot going on today. We've got even more coming at you through the rest of this week, and we might as well pile into it right now. One of the lead stories on in the Andalusia Star-News over the weekend was the story of the Indigo Snake and Wildlife Festival that's going to be this coming Friday, which is the 4th of May, down at the Covington National Forest. Now, if you aren't familiar with the Indigo Snake project down there, it's a pretty interesting thing. The Indigo Snake is one of the largest snakes that grows is native to North America. They're beautiful. The name Indigo Snake describes what they are. They are a beneficial animal for our area. They kill a lot of rats and those kind of things out in the woods. But they're an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous snake. I can tell a story about the first time I ever saw one. I got invited onto a kind of an exotic deer hunt on an island off of the coast of Florida, where they have an exotic animal that was imported called the sambar deer. It's a long story about how the deer got there, but it's about the size of an elk. And it was on a plantation owned by the Burris brothers, who used to make cotton gins. And it was St. Vincent Island down below Apalachicola off the coast. At one time, it was inhabited by a number of animals that they had brought in. They brought in zebras and giraffes and gazelles, and they even had monkeys and those kind of things on there. Famous hunting place. John Wayne had hunted there. Clark Gable had hunted there during their heydays, and it eventually, though, the Burris brothers tired of it and turned it over to the United States Federal Government Park Service. They did a survey on the land, and they found certain animals that they could keep, and the rest of them just because they would exist on the regular flora and fauna that were there without any help. And the big take back was that this Asian deer, sambar, could exist without any assistance, and it's a big deal to get drawn into that hunt. Only about 50 people a year get to go down there, and it's a wonderful place. They've got eastern red wolf population there on the island, a breeding population. They have a breeding population of indigo snakes, and they have 3 different bald eagle nesting areas on the island. Anyway, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it's all done with primitive weapons, either black powder or bows and arrows, and I guess you could carry a spear. But you have to walk everywhere. Anyway, at 2 o'clock, you have to come in to go back to the camp, and I was coming back, and I'd taken the cap off of my black powder rifle, and I was walking back. I wasn't paying attention, and I looked down in front of me, and I promise you, there was a 14-foot snake in front of me, and it was an indigo snake, absolutely gorgeous snake, so long that it actually filled both sides of the sandy road that we were on. And I stopped and looked at the thing. I knew what it was. And it's just a marvelous, marvelous creature of God. And I'm not one of these people that's crazy about snakes, but they are absolutely a wonder to watch. Well, down on Friday, May 4th, they're going to have at the Connecticut Forest, they're going to have a school, an event or whatever to publicize the indigo snake. They're trying to establish a breeding population down there. This used to be country that was native to the indigo snake, and I really hope that they can make a recovery with that. That and the pine snake are two of the most beautiful native snakes to this area, both non-poisonous, that I've ever seen in my life, and both of them are rare. And we're fortunate to have people down in this area that are trying to conserve that species. They're just an absolutely marvelous, marvelous creature to observe. And they've done a good job down there trying to bring that population back. Go down on Friday, May 4th to the Connecticut National Forest and enjoy some of that. Well, we're going to take a break now. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back to Good News Covington County with who am I today? Let's see, Petroleum V. Nasty. No, I'm Brother John. Glad to have you here with us. We're going to cover some cultural news next. But first, I want to say something about the big plant sale that they had south of town at the ASCS office. Folks, it was a great success. People came from all over to buy plants down there and to improve their yards and continue to make Andalusia one of the show places of this part of the world. And we're so lucky to have these great master gardeners in our community, Miss Pancake and a number of other people down there, Miss Cope. They just do a tremendous job to help beautify our community, and we're so lucky to have people like that working with us. Now, in the way of cultural news, and I say that not lightly, Paula Har, who's a friend of mine, is a big mover and a shaker in the Covington Arts Council. And quite honestly, Andalusia's really, really lucky with the Arts Council they have. They do an awful lot in the community with visual arts and other things to bring a level of sophistication and beauty to Andalusia and Covington County that is far outsized to the size of our community and numbers and those kind of things. And we're lucky to have people like that help contribute to our community with beautiful art projects. One of the things they do is I don't think they call it this, but it does help. It's a fundraiser, and it's always a fun thing to do. They've had a group here called Seven Bridges, which was an Eagles tribute group, and they've had other people in here to entertain. This time they've got a Rumors, a Fleetwood Mac tribute group, and boy howdy, the pictures, they look like Fleetwood Mac. And I'm sure that they sound very, very much like them, or they wouldn't get the kind of press that they do. They're going to be here in Andalusia tomorrow, the first day of May Day, at 7 p.m. Out at the LBW Community College at the Dixon Center for the Performing Arts out there. It's a great opportunity to go hear something good. And again, I make my case. If you don't think if you think there's nothing going on in Covington County, nothing going on in Andalusia, you just got to watch WKNI. We'll find something that you can get involved with all the time. Again, Rumors, they're going to be out at the LBW Community College, is sponsored by the Covington Arts Council. It will be tomorrow, May 1st at 7 p.m. You can buy your tickets out there. You can buy your tickets at the Star News, or you can buy your tickets at Harold's Furniture over here on East 3 Notch in the old A&P building. And look forward to this to be a great event. Going to try to have Paula Har in here tomorrow to tell us a little bit more about them. At $15 per person, it's a great deal. It'll be $20 at the gate, but $15 in advance. It'll be a great way to take that special person and enjoy a great evening on the town. Anyway, moving right along, there's a big story in the Star News that Michelle Gerlach covered, and great, well written as usual by Michelle. And that's about the email addresses, the upcoming possible changes in the email addresses here in Covington County, specifically in Andalusia and Opp, as they move over from Andy Cable to Mediacom's internet addresses. At some point in time, they'll have to drop the @Andy Cable, and it'll become @Mediacom or @Mediacom Andy or something like that. And this is all preparatory to doing that. There have been a lot of people asking a lot of questions about it, apparently. And Michelle went out and asked the right people. Phyllis Peters, who is the communications director for Mediacom's field operations group, said this week the company is not ready to make that change. We're not asking our customers at the Andalusia Opp areas to do anything right now about email. They're just not quite ready to do that. Our migration system is at work behind the scenes. They're going to try to make it seamless, try to make it one of those things where one morning you wake up and all you've got to remember is that your name is changed from A to B without you having to do an awful lot. It'll be interesting if they can pull that off. I certainly hope so. As for right now, according to Ms. Peters, the status quo is the status quo. Mediacom officials have said in the past that local customers should anticipate a transitional solution, and that will include some kind of forwarding of email from Andy Cable email addresses to the new Mediacom email. I look forward to seeing that happen. I know it's going to be a little bit of a change, and for some people it may be considered painful, but it's just a little change. And I'll say one thing for the people at Mediacom. Once I got over the original hiccups at my house, the internet speed is better than what it used to be. It's having lived in a large area at one time, I'm used to high-speed internet, and what we've got now is really a big improvement, and I hope that they even get better with it. Well, it's about time to take another break. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back to Good News Covington County, folks. It's Monday, April 30th, the last day of April. Tomorrow will be May Day. I can remember in Andalusia when on May Day you could go down to the Church Street School and they'd have a maypole up and they would have practiced with the children all day long, and it was a big event, well, all week long. And they'd come out there and they'd wrap the maypole. And everybody in Andalusia, it seemed like, would show up to watch them do that. The kids would be dressed in white or light colored clothing. And I don't know why they stopped it. Maybe they figured out it was a big communist holiday or something like that. And there was a time when I guess everybody was scared that the communists were going to rise up out of the ditches and take over our country. But anyway, there's folks that say that right now too, and I don't know if they're right or wrong, but the threat continues. But it's going to be, May 1st is a big day. I just wonder if that's going to bring us real spring or not yet. Anyway, enough for that in our weather forecast. The Andalusia, the 22nd Judicial Drug Task Force, and that's the one that operates here in Florella with the sheriff's office, one thing and another like that. It's a joint operation whose funding has been cut severely over the last year. Made a drug seizure in Opp. They found a pound of marijuana in possession of a couple over there, and I'm just going to read from the article. Around 1 p.m. on Thursday, Drug Task Force agents searched a residence on West Hart Avenue in Opp. Agents found and seized approximately 1 pound of marijuana, money, 2 handguns, and drug paraphernalia. Natasha Tyson of Enterprise, age 34, was charged with possession of marijuana in the second degree and possession of drug paraphernalia. Tyson's bond is set at $10,500. A 31-year-old man from Opp was charged with possession of marijuana, first degree, and possession of drug paraphernalia. His name has not been released. Now, this is kind of carry on a little bit of what we talked about last week, and that is the Andalusia soccer team. They're headed to the state playoff as we left Friday, and they were going up to play Faith Academy, who they had played last year. And Faith Academy had like a 21-7 record, and Andalusia High School had, I believe, a 9-5-1 soccer record. Well, I tell you, you just can't count on numbers to tell you everything that's going on, because Andalusia went up to Faith Academy and beat them soundly. In the first 10 minutes, the Bulldogs moved the ball down the field, and Reese Burkhart capitalized on the errors made by the other team to lead Andalusia ahead 5-0. The Faith Christian Rams encountered, but Franklin Osorio, our goalkeeper, did a great job of keeping him out of the basket. Then the Bulldogs stepped up their game at that point. Kiki Wayne, who is a, lack of a better word, a stud. In fact, all these kids are. Kiki Wayne fought his way through from the sidelines to score a point, and David Turner actually was the one that made the score, as he picked up the rebound of Kiki's shot to make it 2-0. Wayne then dribbled past several defenders a little later and got it past the goalkeeper to make it 3-0. The Rams countered. The people from the other school countered, and Franklin Nazario again came out and stopped the offense and kept it from the goal. Late in the first half, a throw-in led to Wayne's second goal of the game, and he dribbled the ball down the field and to a 4-0 lead by Andalusia. Again, they continued to play well and eventually capitalized by beating the Rams 5-0. I want to quote Coach Jarrett Williamson on some of this. I feel like our defense has been extremely solid, head coach Jarrett Williamson said. They are now trusting each other and are getting more solid as they go. The more the further we go, the more chances we're going to get. And that was very obvious when you see how the Osorio kid played down at the goal. Very, very good. Williamson said that there were some kind of injuries headed into the game, but he also mentioned that the kids, that's one of the great things about sports. It makes kids mentally and physically tough. Managed to shake it off and played through it. Other kids on the team stepped up, and 5-0 is nothing to shake, to shake your head about in soccer. That's an excellent game. And I'm wrong. It's not 5-0. If I were in my BBC voice, I'd say it is 5-0. So Andalusia beats the Rams 5-0. They've got a tough game coming up against Montgomery Catholic in Montgomery on Monday night. So we need to be thinking about them tonight as as the Bulldogs go up to play the Montgomery Catholic Knights. We played them once or twice before, maybe 3 times before. Anyway, I think we're 2-1 against them this year. So hopefully they'll do well. Well, we'll be back in just a minute with some more news. Thanks for watching. Welcome back to Good News Covington County as we're cruising on toward the end of today's show. Just a couple of things we wanted to get out of the way in the way of some announcements. You know, when we had the great Ricky Skaggs in town, we made friends with a group called Copperline Bluegrass out of the Florida Panhandle, and we've been showing some of their music on here lately. We got another group local that does some pretty good bluegrass. We're going to be taping them this week, and you'll be seeing some of the program here. You'll be seeing them as well. But they're both in a festival, a bluegrass festival down at Laurel Hill this coming weekend. Take advantage of the opportunity to go down and see that. I think we're going to go down and try to film some of that ourselves as well. I had a couple of announcements that I kind of wanted to get out there to you. Is one of them, they're both from the Mount Zion United Methodist Church. One of them is a youth fundraiser on Saturday, May 5th at 7 p.m. And the other one is a barbecue Saturday, May 5th at 10:30 a.m. We'll start with the barbecues announcement. This is mostly to raise money for the youth in this church to go on, I guess, a mission trip or something like that. The barbecue will be from 10:30 until I guess they run out of barbecue on Saturday, May 5th at the Mount Zion United Methodist Church at 28938 Strawn School Road in Strawn, Alabama. Yeah, it's for the youth summer camp. Plates are $7 each, and they must be ordered by May 1st. I don't see a number. Yeah, here's a number. Or you can call or text 343-1087. 343-1087. Now remember, the South where barbecue is king. If you want some good barbecue, I'm betting it's going to be a good thing to go to. We'll announce this again tomorrow. Keep your eyes open. The other thing is that they're having a rummage sale at starting on May 5th at 7 a.m. again at the Mount Zion United Methodist Church on Strawn School Road. They're going to have kitchen pots and pans, utensils, bedding. I'm not sure what a knick-knack is, but you know, dance clothes, shoes, clothes, men and women and children's sizes, semi-formal dresses, just about anything you can imagine. So why don't you get up early on Saturday and drive right past the yard sales and go up to the rummage sale up at the United Methodist Church on Strawn School Road. And then when you get through buying all that, hang around for a few minutes and get you some of that finger-licking good barbecue they're going to be having up there. Get the barbecue all over your face and your hands and get sticky and all that kind of stuff, and then go home and take a good nap that afternoon. The other thing that we have to cover is that we're going to do our weather, and then we're going to kind of get out of here. Had great weather this weekend, didn't we? I mean, it was Chamber of Commerce stuff. Today, it's going to be sunny with a high near 84, calm weather. Coming out of the east about 5 miles an hour later in the day tonight. We'll have a calm evening, fog moving in at about 4 o'clock in the morning. Otherwise, mostly clear. Again, a 5 mile an hour wind overnight. Tuesday, early fog, high about 86, mostly clear and sunny, 5 or 10 mile an hour breeze. And Tuesday night, mostly clear, low around 60, winds out of the south, becoming calm in the evening. So, you know, keep those windows open and enjoy this life this time of year. Folks, we appreciate you watching with us today, and hope that you'll come back tomorrow. We'll have more news from Covington County and Andalusia not. Thanks again. We'll see you tomorrow.